Welterweight Mykal Fox, who this Saturday night takes on Lucas Santamaria on your network, Fox Sports 1. This is so I mean, you're finally letting yourself fight on your network, huh?
Yeah. I had to talk to my higher ups about it, but we made it happen.
So what's going on? Obviously, we're 6 days away from this fight with Lucas Santamaria. What are you up to?
All right, just finishing up training right now. We're getting the rest of the weight down. It's been a little crazy with my medicals. We had a few difficulties there. Everything's clear. Don't get me wrong, but the training camp has been felt a bit rushed this time. But we're gonna be ready to go.
Oh, okay. I mean, do you want to delve into that, or just
Well, the main thing, what I did like about this camp, we got our medicals done all in a week, which is actually a first. So I had 6 to 8 week camps, that was great. It's just and you can ask Ron Katz. We had so much difficulty getting the MRI because the office kept closed. The security guard wouldn't let me in, but then the lady down there didn't tell the security guard that I was going to be there at a certain time. I had appointments and everything. But once everything got done, camp started going smooth again. We got great sparring and everything.
Was a little bit different this time with I don't know how it is in Maryland. Are there any kind of restrictions and stuff going on with gyms or anything like that? Was there any kind of difficulty in that regard?
Not too much. Gyms are open, Golds and Planet Fitness, stuff like that, with was that 50% capacity, something like that. The owner of our gym just said, man, just wear a mask. I can be in here. Just make sure y'all wear a mask while you're there. So we did our best. We respected his rules and everything, and sparring wasn't too hard to get. Greg Outlaw came through to help me out. A couple guys that were set to make their pro debuts before the world shut down. Jaleel Hackett and Trayvon Marshall, they both came through and gave me great work. So Greg Outlaw, Jaleel Hackett, Trayvon Marshall, shout out to them.
Talk about Lucas Santamaria. I believe he's 11-1. He's 11-1-1. He drew with Marquise Taylor, who's also promoted with King's Promotions, and I think he's coming off a win over a 7-1 fighter as well. What do you know about him?
I know he's from California. What is that? 10-1-1 or 11-1-1? One of those. No, 10. Yeah, it was 10, right? 10-1-1. 7 knockouts. I know he's fought a few guys with good records, but he's also fought a lot of debuts. We'll have to see. I think my experience is going to be key in this fight. But credit to him and credit to all the fighters that are taking fights right now, because it's a dangerous time, but it's a great time to make a name for yourself. While the big names are, I guess, battling over that big money.
Yeah, so, and obviously with fans not being able to come to these fights, obviously it cuts down on those multi-million-dollar type of fights. So right. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into things, but you're the headliner on the FS1 portion of the show, and on the Fox portion of the show, there's a welterweight battle between Thomas Delorme and Jamal James. You being on the card with them, is that coincidence, or just there may be something to it with maybe something down the line?
I think right now it could help with something down the line. I think it all kind of depends on A, who wins that fight, and B, probably who and I need to make sure I look I need to make sure I look excellent in my fight. Like I said, it's a great opportunity for young fighters up and coming like myself to showcase ourselves. And I think if I can steal the show on the FS1 portion, somebody might mention me fighting one of them. All three of us are all ranked by the WBA. I think they're both ranked by multiple organizations. I'm also ranked by the IBF. So, and I have 23 fights. So it's a doable fight. Marshall works very closely with Al Heyman, and and shout out to Marshall and Mike Barral for giving me an opportunity on the PBC card. Right now, my main focus is Saturday and doing the best I can, giving the best performance I can.
And like I said, I know you're not looking. You never look past or disrespect your opponents, but had that crept in your mind at least for a second to say, hey, you know what? If I win this fight, maybe it's a Delorme or a James type of guy could be next. I mean, obviously, you're human. You are plotting out your future, whether it's for a second or an hour or whatever. I mean, say, hey, maybe that could be a route that could be that you could go down at some point in the near or even distant future.
Once I started seeing my rankings, I looked at all the top guys, basically in the organizations I was ranked in. I didn't worry too much about the WBC or the WBO. I haven't really been ranked in those yet, but I mean, anything can happen. But yeah, one of the main names that stuck out was Jamal James. I've seen him fight multiple times. I thought, a fight with him would definitely boost my stock. Especially getting a win over him, because Jamal James is actually one of the PBC welterweights. I guess you can't probably put him at superstar status, but he's one of the PBC welterweights that's making a lot of noise.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And like yourself, another not quite as tall, but another very tall welterweight as well. So.
Yeah. He's like 6'1". He's 6'1", and that would present a challenge in his own. But I think it's hard to prepare for a 6'4" southpaw. I always have that going for me. But yeah, I'm watching everybody closely. Everybody that's around my weight class, I'm watching all of them closely, because you never know. Some people might drop to 47, some people might come up to 47, and I need to be ready.
I got a couple comments from. This I can't believe that they would actually say this. King's Boxing on Facebook says the best welterweight in the world.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're crazy to say that. I don't think they're crazy to say that at all.
Actually, wants to know who was your toughest fight to date.
My toughest fight to date would have to be. It's between it's two guys. Trayshawn Wiggins and Well, no, I take that back. Definitely Shojan Ergashev, he's one, and then Alejandro Manuel Reyes. He was actually my first fight at welterweight. I went at the 147. I tried out one time, and I was still like, I had just turned like 20. I actually had just turned 21, and I realized, I still got some growing to do. So we took it back to 140. But now, at 24 years old, my body has matured a lot. So I'm hoping to be at 147 for a long time.
You said at 6'4", and like I said, I know you have a lot of work to do at welterweight, and growing into your body. 5 years down the line, where do you see yourself maxing out at?
That's a good question. I know, maybe like if towards, like, I guess you mean like towards like the end of my career. I guess I could probably finish off at. I don't think middleweight would be crazy.
No.
Yeah, just because of my height, and we just got to see how my body changes throughout those 5 years. But I think 160. I think I'd cap off at like 160.
This fight is taking place like every other fight around in front of a crowdless atmosphere, and you thought about it? I'm sure you've watched all the other fights, whether it's been Top Rank, the PBC show last night on Showtime, and Golden Boy ran a show on DAZN. You thought about what it's gonna be like? I don't know how clearly when you're in the ring during the rounds, you can hear yourself. You can hear your dad yelling the instructions out. I mean, have you thought about what that's gonna be like?
Yeah, I considered it, especially watching the fights last night. Normally my coaches are yelling. Got to talk over the crowd, but I can kind of hear them distinctly, even amidst all the noise. But I mean, to me, I think it's going to seem like kind of like being in the gym, where there's only a few people in there. You don't got to talk loud. I think it's just be better. I think what a lot of people are going to see is throughout all these fights, the top ranked the PBC fights, is the level of communication between the fighter and the coach. You know, people hear fighters talking to their coach, and some people might think, you know, oh man, he getting way too comfortable in there. Not that, you know, we're thinking, we're vibing together, making sure that the realm of communication is very clear.
You find that maybe to be, I mean, you brought out it be maybe a little bit of advantage for you because you have such a good relationship and you know, both inside and outside the ring with your dad. Your brother's in the corner as well, pro fighter. You know, so you feel because of the camaraderie that you have as a team, based on what you just said, that you know that maybe could help you even more.
I mean, it could help, but I mean, I'm not like, you know, I'm not the only fighter that, you know, fighters don't pick coaches that they would have a bad relationship with. So I'm pretty sure, you know, Santamaria, whoever's training him, he has a great relationship with, and he trusts a whole lot. I think it's just going to work. I think it can work for everybody across the board. And when it comes down to it, which fighter is able to follow instructions and implement their style and impose their will is going to be the fighter victorious. And we can be in the middle of a crowded stadium, or in a small room that has a ring and one light in it. So it just depends on. It's just going to depend on the. I mean, a good dynamic is going to help. But a good dynamic is not something that's like exclusive to me and my team.
I think Marshall wants to do this interview with me. He asked me to ask you, now that you're competing at 147, you know, totally you were kind of fluctuating between 40, 47. You're taking fights in the middle now. It seems like that you're fully engraved at 147. Yeah, have you done anything different to deal with, you know, the bigger fighters?
Well, you know, I always pride myself on having a good ring IQ. And that's what I try to lead off with. But,
hence the professor nickname.
Right, right. But before everything started opening back up, one of my clients actually had his own gym. Everybody was supposed to be closed, but it was kind of tucked away. So after I trained him there, you know, I knew that I was like, man, I don't exactly know when this is going to end. I might need to start building my body into 147. So I kept working out, did a little more strength training. My strength and conditioning coach, D'Angelo Kennard, he didn't stop training us. He was we did it via FaceTime, or we would meet in parks and things like that. So, you know, the whole time I was trying to kind of build into 147, so I could just be so I'm not going to be in that ring just being overwhelmed just by the size. You know, I knew that it would open back up. I knew everything would open back up, and when it did, I could feel my body. I got on the scale like at least once or twice a week. I could see my weight kind of going up. But I was like, you know what, we're gonna have to kind of embrace this a little bit. I really didn't think I could get back down to 140 after the COVID. Had I been fighting throughout this year, I might could have pulled off a few more times, maybe got a regional title. But honestly, I probably would have got it. I probably just went up anyway.
Have you contemplated, I don't know if you've talked to any friends or fighters that have participated in these, quote, bubble atmospheres. Have you talked to anyone to see how they go about their business for fight week?
Yeah, well, we talked to Sonny Ferguson, we talked to Tremaine Williams, all these guys, they were saying the same thing, like, you know, everything is like really strict to a schedule. I have like the itinerary I got emailed or whatever. It has a time. I'm only allowed to be in the gym or their gym for like an hour, like in and out. You know, you got an hour. When I first get there, I got to quarantine in my room for the whole day. Things like that. Sonny Ferguson's coach, he said, you know, you get called for lunch, and he said he called it child time, like almost kind of being in jail. So they got a tight hold on us. But the biggest thing is, I think, I don't want to go stir crazy. I don't want to be in that junk too long and start losing my mind. But I'm going to bring some things to help me keep my mind busy and things like that. A couple books, maybe things like that, just to keep my mind busy while we wait. You know, but I mean, I'm there to do a job. So
yeah, I talked to Vito Melnicki Jr., who's also fighting on the card Saturday. I think he told me he's going to bring his Xbox. So
yeah, I was thinking about bringing my PlayStation. I really was.
So
I was thinking about bringing my PlayStation because like we got to be in the room all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you know, as fighters, of course we appreciate some structure in our training and whatnot. But for the entire day, you somebody just telling you where to go, what to do, when to eat. You know, for the entire day, that can drive anybody crazy.
Yeah, in a way, I know, especially when you train, you know, even when you're just shaking out, sometimes you get a little sore or you know whatever from just exercising. Maybe that's just me, but you know, you feel that maybe your body will be a little bit more rested, possibly because you know you're not maybe doing as much fight week.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. It could like the downtime could actually benefit us. But even still, you know, sometimes you just feel like, man, I want to get up and move a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, I've been laying here for hours. Let me just get up and move a little bit. But I think that the rest could definitely help. But like I said, being so tight of a schedule. I mean, we'll just have to see. I'm not gonna lead a bubble. I ain't gonna do nothing crazy. Because I plan on fighting. I don't want anybody on my team getting kicked out and thrown in the center. So you know the fight team Fox is gonna follow, or you're gonna follow instructions to the T. They're gonna get a peep out of us.
I don't know, like you said, staying in the room all day. I don't know what the rules are, but you know, obviously, the every team they have their trainer and whatever. Are you allowed to go in your dad's room and hang out, or do you have to stay in your room the whole time?
Well, yeah, according to my dad had asked Marshall. According to him, yeah, we can go to each other's room.
Gotcha.
We're gonna be quarantined on the floor, but we can go to each other's room, but it's not just gonna be a lot of I think if we leave that floor, that's when there's a violence.
Yeah, that's I know the top rank thing. It was floored, and from what I was told. So, all right, so we're getting ready for this big fight. We're going to see you Saturday night on FS1. Anything you want to say to the fans in closing?
Man, everyone, FS1, that's Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Tune in. Fox on Fox Sports 1.
So you're coming on after the Fox part.
I thought, according to the article I read, it said I was a part of the FS1 prelim.
Okay, I don't know if I think that comes on beforehand. I don't know. Don't quote me. We'll post on my website and everything, the times on everything. And what's I always ask you this, what's the social media? Where do we find you?
Social media is at Professor Mike on Twitter and on Instagram. Professor MYKE.
There we go. So this Saturday night on Fox Sports 1. That's it. That's your station. That's your network. And hopefully, as they say, you'll show up and show out in a big way. And we'll see you on Saturday night.